breaking news.
Did you hear it? It looks like a meteor paid a visit to the atmosphere today, and it made quite the entrance.
It was just like a boom, like that.
This morning, the calls and messages, they came pouring into our newsroom after people from Norwalk to Butler, Pennsylvania heard a loud boom.
Like, bah!
Some reported it shook the ground.
We here at News 5 heard it too. NASA just confirmed this was a meteor. Video from the Olmsted Falls School District shows something streaking through the sky. We are actively working to learn more. Stick with us on air and online for our coverage of an out-of-this-world event.
Unbelievable. Did not have a meteor on my bingo card for St. Patrick's Day, but yeah, the sonic boom that you heard from that meteor, meaning it is going faster than the speed of sound. So if you remember during the air show, you kind of hear those loud noises because the planes are going very, very fast. That's what that was earlier this morning. So yeah, lots and lots of interesting things going on in the atmosphere.
In the Midwest, starting their St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, what the was that?
A stunning kickoff to celebrations when a fireball streaked through the sky. Followed by sonic booms so powerful they rattled pets, cameras, and the overall sense of calm.
We heard this boom, big boom, and a vibration in the building.
NBC station WKYC in Cleveland speaking with a business owner whose windows cracked as calls quickly poured in to Ohio's emergency services.
Definitely not a gunshot. It sounds like more of an explosion. It's definitely too big for fireworks.
NASA confirming hours later it was a small asteroid, nearly 6 feet in diameter, weighing about 7 tons and moving at nearly 40,000 miles an hour. The streaking blaze of orange capturing the attention of eyewitnesses from Virginia to Delaware, Maryland to Pennsylvania to Ohio. 10 states, D.C., and even the Canadian province of Ontario.
Rocks hitting the atmosphere, even the tenuous upper atmosphere at that speed, it's like slamming into a brick wall.
Ralph Harvey is a professor of planetary materials at Case Western Reserve in Ohio, who says that car-sized meteor actually isn't that rare.
In asteroid terms, it's small. There's almost no likelihood they would have seen it ahead of time.
Just this past summer, another meteor tore across several states in the southeast.
Whoa.
Before leaving dents in an Atlanta area home. And in 2018, a meteor exploding over Michigan, producing shaking equivalent to a 2.0 magnitude earthquake. Now, the latest aerial phenomenon producing headlines in Pennsylvania pronouncing Great Balls of Fire for a meteoric moment that's left a definite impression.
Bro, did I get that on my dash cam?
All right. By the way, as if we don't have enough to worry about here on Earth, now we've got meteors.
Just the end of the world.
Yeah. But like you said, you point out it happens every day, but there's a system in place to make sure that we're okay, right?
There actually is. It's relatively recent within the last few years. NASA tested out this DART situation, right, which is a double asteroid redirection test. That's what it stands for. Effectively, they proved in 2022 that you can take a spacecraft, smash it into an asteroid, and it will move that asteroid off of its original trajectory should circumstances warrant. Now, the American Meteor Society says that you actually will see a meteor falling to the United States about once a day. There's these whole networks of cameras once a day that track them. However, because of the fact that we have cell phones now and all these security cameras at homes, we're just seeing it more often. But the reality is it is a daily occurrence. It's just not usually anything.
What is that called again? The what? DART?
The DART.
Okay.
Don't ask me to actually say that acronym again because I don't remember what those words stand
Is Ben Affleck in that movie?
He probably was. Armageddon/DART 2 is coming to a theater near you.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey.
All praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone who still rule and teach well. Peace and blessings and safety unto the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, mainly in America, pushing His word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And so, as you saw from the videos, they're claiming that it was a meteor that entered the atmosphere. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I was out at work in Akron, Ohio, and I heard it. And it sounded like, I don't know if you ever heard like people loading a dumpster. It sounded like a big dumpster was being like emptied, or you were putting rocks in a big ass dumpster. It was like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm looking around, and I'm looking for like a dumpster or a big truck, and I don't see nothing. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And then, you know, brothers in the group chat was saying they heard it, and so, you know, upon investigation, Esau is saying that it was a meteor. But this is a part of Bible prophecy, because these are the signs that will be seen in the heavens, the wonders that will be seen in the heavens before the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay? And so, as we always do, we filter our reality through the scriptures, and I'm going to do the same thing here. But even the news reporter, you heard him say, oh, the end of the world. He mentioned the end of the world, but he joked about it, and he also mentioned Armageddon, and he said it in a joking fashion. But this is not a joke, okay? See, people will try to laugh off these events as if they are not significant, but this is the end of your world. That's exactly what this is. Not the end of the world completely, because the earth abideth forever, pursuant to Ecclesiastes in the 1st chapter. But the end of your rulership, that's the end of your world. The word world in Matthew the 24th chapter, where the disciples asked the Yahweh Shai, what shall be the end of the world and the sign of your coming? The word world there is eon, which deals with a particular age, a particular rulership. Okay, not actually the entire planet Earth. So this is Luke 21:10. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. And we're seeing all of those things right now. And it also said, you know, witness account said that the earth actually shook, which I didn't feel the shaking part, because like I said, I was lucky. I should have got rid of that first. But I had an article on it. Let me see if I can pull it up. I didn't actually feel the shaking aspect. Maybe I was too far away. But the Lord speaks about how the Lord's presence shakes the earth. It says NASA confirms the boom was a 17,000-pound meteor. Now, how the hell do he know how much it weighed? But anyway, a loud boom was reported across Northeast Ohio just before 9 a.m. on Tuesday. People around Northeast Ohio flooded Fox 8 newsrooms with reports of what heard like a large explosion. You know, and brothers, we was hoping it was a missile. You know, that's our mindset. We hoping that the Lord start to work as far as Armageddon, World War III, so that they can implement this microchip and we could get up out of here. But, you know, as it stands, they say it was a meteor, which still ties into Bible prophecy, as I said before. It says lasting several seconds and causing homes and businesses to shake. Right. Yeah, it lasted for about 30 seconds. I was looking around like, what is that noise? Where is that coming from? It says NASA has confirmed a 6-foot, 17,000-pound meteor traveled 44,000 miles, out of all numbers, 44,000 miles per hour over Northeast Ohio. It was 50 miles above Lake Erie when the first flash was detected. And so you know this was it says a meteor, sometimes called a shooting star, is a space rock that crashes through Earth's atmosphere. Now you know this was a sign from Yahweh Shai, because NASA was not able to predict that it was going to be there. You know, normally they'll predict these asteroids and, you know, objects that enter the atmosphere. They'll say, well, it's going to enter the atmosphere tomorrow around this time. But they were not able to predict this when it came completely as a surprise. And it still could have been a chariot. You know, these devils, they don't know what's going on, you know, 100%. Luke 21:11, it says, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Yeah, great signs shall there be from heaven. That was one of those signs. Acts 2 verse 19, it says, and I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, that's a solar eclipse, and the moon into blood, it's a blood moon, before that great and notable day of the Lord come. So these are the wonders that the Lord is showing in heaven above. And if I go look up that word wonders real quick. Let's see what it says in the Greek. The word for wonders.
Strong's G 5059. Teros.
Teros. It says prodigy, portent, performed by anyone, a miracle, a sign in the heavens. It says accordingly something so strange as it is caused to be watched or observed. And that's what that meteor asteroid was. It was so strange and out of the ordinary that people are, looking up video footage of it. They want to see it. They want to observe it. The last precept is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Because we don't worship the stars. We don't worship the moon. We're not into horoscopes and none of this stuff like that. Those are heathen customs and practices. When these things happen in the heavens, it's simply to show you that the Lord is about to send his son back. Jeremiah 10, verse 1, hear ye the word of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, which he speaketh, it's like it. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto the children, or the house of Israel. It's like it. Verse 2, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So we aren't to be dismayed at these signs in the heavens. Look up this word dismay. It says to cause to lose courage or resolution. Right, don't be afraid. Sudden loss of courage, sudden disappointment. Right. This is not the end of the world, if you will, for the elect. But it is the end of the world for you people who believe and trust in this man's society and the people that run this society. Lord, this is edifying. Just a quick hit. Kwame Asheraba. Shalom.